Hey guys, welcome to the final video here of Chapter 8, and as you can see I sort of skipped ahead to get back to the Bazaar. This entire video is completely optional. It contains just a couple side quests, the first part of a Gratitude Crystals quest for another character, and as well as some items and item upgrades and individual Gratitude Crystals, etc. So if you want to progress with the main quest, just go ahead and fly on over to the Faron region, and then just fast forward to, or jump ahead to Chapter 9, where we will tackle that region. However, right now there's a few goodies for us to get here. Over in the Bazaar, the item salesman, he now has a sacred shield available for your purchase. It costs 500 rupees, but if you've been following along, then you likely played Dodo's minigame over at Fun Island to get 500 rupees, and you also got 40 gratitude crystals, which gets you an additional golden rupee, so you should have at least 500 rupees for now. You want to go and speak with the item check teller just to trade out or trade in your items. I suggest pulling out whatever type shield you have in the iron shield family, because it's more durable than the wooden shield family, and since we are going to be in the Faron region next, we don't have to worry about electric enemies. Furthermore, even though it's the Faron region, there is, I want to say, one fire-based enemy, so it's really not that big of a deal for a wooden shield. But we want to purchase the Sacred Shield. It's the least durable of the group. However, it's resistant to both fire and electricity, and over time it replenishes its own health, its own stamina, really. So it has some pros and some cons. It's cool to have, and it actually works. It has some unique abilities too against specific enemies. It's up to you, really, if you want to have one or not. But I like to carry, if you carry the Sacred Shield, I like to carry one of the other shields as well. I'm going to head on over to upgrade some goodies. I want to upgrade my Iron Shield to the Reinforced Shield, which is the second of the Iron Shield family. However, I need a couple extra Monster Claws, so I'm just going to sort of turn the page here to the Waterfall Cave over in Skyloft, just because you can get some Monster Claws for defeating Keese, and with the treasure medal it's very easy to grind away, so I'm gonna pick up a few Monster Claws and then just appear back at the scrap shop. Obviously I did some cutting and pasting there, but you could take all the time you like. You can grind for some Jelly Blobs or Monster Claws in the Waterfall Cave at any point. So I want to go and upgrade the Iron Shield to the Reinforced Shield. This upgrade, it basically adds more durability, so you have a more powerful shield than the Iron Shield. And at this stage in the game, it's a good idea to get that upgrade if you really need it. In terms of the next upgrade, you need 3 Elden Ore, 3 Monster Claws, 3 tumbleweeds, and 1 blue bird feather. So really you could upgrade to the third of the Iron Shield family right now if you really like to, the Fortified Shield, but you'll need those extra treasures. Anyway, I'm pretty much done in Skyloft, at least momentarily. Our next destination is back over at the Lumpy Pumpkin, and I'm just gonna quickly fast forward. Early on in the game, we broke the chandelier in the Lumpy Pumpkin, and this triggered the start of a side quest that I sort of skipped at the time since I couldn't do it. First and foremost, if you haven't broken the chandelier and gotten that piece of heart, just run upstairs and roll into the ledge twice, and the chandelier will come tumbling down. Anyway, once you speak to Pum, the owner of the Lumpy Pumpkin, he gives you some, or after you break the chandelier, he'll give you some hot pumpkin soup to deliver to Aegis over at the sparring hall in Skyloft. However, you only have 5 minutes to deliver it, which, while that might seem restricted, it's really a long time. If you've already gotten the hot pumpkin soup before and didn't deliver it, you'll have to pay 10 rupees in order to get it this time around. Once again, I'm just going to skip ahead since it's just straight direct flying from the lumpy pumpkin over to the sparring hall. You want to land, even though if you fall in front of the sparring hall, you'll appear in front of the Knight Academy, since there's kind of set locations as to where you can actually land. Afterwards, just head inside. You can see the hot pumpkin soup is, well, still hot. If it takes you too long, the hot pumpkin soup will turn into, well, cold pumpkin soup. What a name. Anyway, go ahead and speak with Aegis, and there you go. You can give him the pumpkin soup. And, I was expecting a reward for this, but, in most Zelda games, you go and deliver something, you get something. Like, maybe not from Pum, since you're sort of working off a debt, but I thought Aegis would actually give you a reward, but, well, it turns out he doesn't. It kind of stinks. But, this is the first of a couple of deeds that we are going to have to do for Pum over at the Lumpy Pumpkin. I mean, we did actually break his chandelier, so just making one delivery of pumpkin soup isn't really gonna pay for that. Our next destination, we just want to head back over to the Lumpy Pumpkin. So, doing a little fast forwarding here, just to save some time, but make your way on over to the Lumpy Pumpkin once again. It's a pretty direct route, and go ahead and head inside and speak with Pum once again. You'll notice he has the bubble over his head, and this time around he's happy that you worked off the debt, but you still have some work to do. He wants you to help harvest the pumpkins. Alright, so now we gotta go work the farm, if you really want to call it a farm of sorts. So he asks you to go help out with Kina, or I think that's how you pronounce it, Kina. That's Pum's daughter, who works at the pumpkin patch, pretty much, in the back of the Lumpy Pumpkin. So you can head out through the back entrance, or back exit, I should say. And then Kina is right ahead in the pumpkin patch area. So just run on ahead, and you can speak to her. And here we get to play somewhat of a mini game, if you really want to call it that. It's kind of lame, really. I mean, all we gotta do is carry 5 pumpkins over to the storage shed. But the storage shed is right next to the pumpkin patch. So realistically, this would take all of, I don't know, 30 seconds to do. Maybe, it takes all of 5 seconds to walk there or run there. But to make it a little interesting, you don't just have to pick up pumpkins and go drop them. But Kina, of course, it wouldn't be a game if it was that easy. She wants you to carry 5 of them at once. So it's sort of this mini game where, well, you have to balance them, sort of. If you see them falling off to the left or to the right, just move either to the left or right, so in that specific direction, to keep it balanced. This might look somewhat challenging, but it's not. It's incredibly easy. In fact, I've never failed at this, actually. Then again, I've never completely rushed at it either. But it's not too hard. Just make your way over to the storage shed found here, and that's pretty much it. And Kina seems very surprised, and she thanks you very much. I don't know why that text moved incredibly slow as well. It's like, thank you very much. She's trying to hint something? Anyway, this is the second of the debts that you owe to Pum. So go ahead and speak with him once again. And he asks, what should you work on next? And then he noticed that you have an instrument, the harp. This is the reason why I didn't want to do this quest earlier, because, well, we didn't have the harp. But now that we do have the harp, we can do this next event. You want to fall asleep using one of the nearby beds. This is the only way to be at the Lumpy Pumpkin at night, since you can't travel with your loft when at nighttime. But once you awake, go ahead and speak with Pum at nighttime, who is still standing in that exact same location. I guess all he does his entire life pretty much is stand in front of the bar all day, all night. Well, okay. Well, he tells you a story about how Kina used to perform, but then Kina lost her partner, so Kina can't sing without her partner. So basically, Pum asks you to sing or to perform with Kina and to perform your harp. Basically, how this works is your grand audience of 2 people will sway their hands back and forth from left to right, and you have to strum the harp at the beat of their hand sways. It's actually incredibly difficult, at least I thought, and even afterwards I failed sort of, but you still pass. I don't think you can fail this, but all you have to do is just keep working at it, and I'll let you listen to this, but it lasts incredibly long, so feel free to fast forward if you'd like. So after your lackluster performance, Pum, I can't say I knocked my socks off, but I guess that's enough work to repair the chandelier. Like, I really don't understand this. What work did you really do? What is the going rate for delivering pumpkin soup that takes less than 5 minutes, otherwise the soup goes bad? Or, moving 5 pumpkins, or just standing up there and poorly strumming a harp. If that's the cost of a chandelier, I'd like to live in this world as opposed to, the real world. Yeah. Anyway, there are 2 individual gratitude crystals to be found in the lumpy pumpkin, or one in the lumpy pumpkin and one outside in the pumpkin landing in general. So the first one is just upstairs, right there, then and there. And you could have actually gotten this at the very beginning of the game if you wanted to fly to the lumpy pumpkin, go to sleep, get the crystal then, and then go wake up. I saved it for now just because these are only 2 individual gratitude crystals, and all the rewards are in multiples of at least 5, in most cases 10. So getting 2 additional gratitude crystals don't exactly work. As I mentioned earlier, there are 15 gratitude crystals in total, individual ones. We got 10 of them all the way back in chapter 4, I want to say. And this was where we got number 11 and number 12. There's 2 other individual gratitude crystals over in Skyloft, but we still need another item before we can get those. Additionally, there is 1 more over at Beetle Island, and I will get that one at a later point when it's convenient, much like the 2 here I got at the Lumpy Pumpkin. I could get it now, but it's sort of really out of the way. Anyway, that's pretty much going to do it for what we have here in the Lumpy Pumpkin, and more or less that's pretty much what going to do it for Chapter 8 in its entirety. So I know there was a lot of side quests, and we now have 40 gratitude crystals. There's only 80 of them in the whole game, so we're halfway there. And that's pretty much going to do it. So just exit the lumpy pumpkin, jump back on your loft wing, and fly on over to the Faron region. And by the way, the chords, anytime you land on an island other than Skyloft, anywhere in the sky, those first two chords, they're like calming and soothing, but it reminded me of the very beginning of the song by Garth Brooks, Friends in Low Places. Just listen to the beginning of when you land on an island and listen to the very beginning of that song, and I swear that it's like the same exact thing. Anyway, enough of me rambling. I'm talking about Garth Brooks and Skyward Sword walkthrough. Alright, I'll see you guys in Chapter 9, and we'll dive further into the Faron Woods.